This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by the good folks over at Sherlock Packaging, a consumer packaging design firm that specializes in food, medical, and consumer products. If you have a legal cannabis product that is in need of smart, well-designed packaging, then look no further than Sherlock Packaging, which you can read about online over at sherlockpack.com. With Sherlock spelled as two words, S-U-R-E, then L-O-C-K, sherlockpack.com. One of my favorite products from Sherlock Packaging is their very cool 3-digit combo lockbox, which is great for keeping your cannabis safe and secure and only available to you and whatever adult of age that you share with. Those lockboxes, as well as all the other products that Sherlock makes, can be purchased online right now on their website or can be custom printed with your branding and graphics. We actually got some Sherlock Packaging lockboxes made for our recent adventures in Las Vegas, and I got to tell you, they came out looking beautiful. Just open up one last time, sherlockpack.com, and see what they have available. Thanks to everyone at Sherlock Packaging for the support that keeps this show running. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Thursday, November 29th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 618 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. We kick off today with some excellent news out of Michigan, where the state's relatively few fully licensed medical marijuana dispensaries, or provisioning centers as they're known in the state, were given a reprieve over a looming deadline by which they were supposed to only buy from licensed providers, instead of from the large network of caregiver providers that have long supplied the industry. The problem with that requirement is that there's not nearly enough licensed providers to keep the state's shops stocked up, which prompted the Michigan Bureau of Medical Marijuana Regulations to announce yesterday that it was recommending that any provisioning center that buys from registered caregivers will face no sanction by the state. A resolution along those lines will go before the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, also known as LORA, on December 7th. There's a lot of nuance and detail on this one, so I'd recommend reading it in full, especially if you count yourself a Michigander. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. The state of Iowa will see the opening of its first medical marijuana dispensaries as a number of shops are set to open up this weekend. There are just 600 registered medical marijuana patients in the state right now who will be able to, on Saturday, buy medical cannabis for the first time from a dispensary. Iowa's medical program is a fairly limited system that caps THC at no more than 3%, with only processed products like oils, tinctures, and topicals available to patients. But this is Iowa we're talking about, the same state that continues to elect an out and proud white nationalist to Congress, so even its limited system should be celebrated. Tom Angel over at Marijuana Moment grabs today's final top headline with pickup of news out of the U.S. Congress that outgoing Congressman Pete Sessions of Texas, a noted marijuana prohibitionist who has blocked every single progressive cannabis bill from passing out of his House Rules Committee, has flexed his power as committee chair yet again in his last month of being in office. This time, Congressman Sessions put the kibosh on a proposed bill by Congressman Jared Polis of Colorado to lift federal banking restrictions on legal marijuana businesses. Thankfully, for this and many other reasons, Congressman Sessions was booted from office by voters earlier this month, along with the House GOP. And his incoming replacement to lead the House committee has said that he will allow marijuana legislation to be moved on. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Sherlock Packaging, a consumer branding design firm that specializes in food, medical, and consumer products. Sherlock Packaging can help you whether you need a small run of packaging products or a large one. They're also there to help you handle things like design, testing, validation, and even photography. Sherlock Packaging is a soup to nuts kind of business. There isn't any aspect of their trade that they don't have covered. Open up sherlockpack.com to browse their retail store where you can sample any of their cool products and to dip into their wholesale world where you can get top quality packaging for your own legal cannabis product. That's sherlockpack.com with Sherlock being the two words Sure and Lock, Surelock, SherlockPack.com. Big thanks to everyone over at Sherlock Packaging for supporting this show, as well as our recent adventures out to Las Vegas, where they also provided us with a whole lot of beautifully printed MJ Today Media branded packaging. So I feel super solid with this recommendation. Sherlock Packaging makes really nice stuff. See for yourself just how nice over at SherlockPack.com. All right, time for the Blitz. Yesterday in Arkansas, 5 licensed medical marijuana dispensary businesses reported to the state's Medical Cannabis Commission on the projected timing of their first crop of growing cannabis. According to their projections, harvested medical marijuana will be ready for Arkansas patients as early as April. There are around 6,400 registered patients in the state so far. Marijuana Moment's Kyle Yeager has some international news with his pickup of a headline out of Brazil, where lawmakers approved yesterday a proposed bill to legalize medical marijuana. The measure passed through a Senate committee and still has some steps to reach before being enacted into law. Open up Kyle's story for the full read on this one. We jump to Thailand for another overseas story where we have a similar headline to our previous piece, as the Thai National Legislative Assembly voted to advance a proposed medical marijuana legalization bill for full consideration. The bill will have to pass through a vetting committee and survive 60 days of deliberation by the Assembly, so I'm sure we'll be checking back on this one down the road. Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker is pretty happy with how his state's been rolling out the adult use legalization voted through via ballot measure back in 2016. Governor Baker was interviewed by Mass Live and said, quote, "I think it's gone what I would describe, I guess, as mostly according to plan, which is a good thing," unquote. Baker went on to say that he remains concerned with the issue of driving while high. In Oklahoma, registered medical marijuana patients are dealing with the realities of the laws of supply and demand, and that there is a lot of demand right now for medical cannabis, but not much supply. The state's few open medical marijuana shops are pricing their cannabis as high as $450 an ounce, which they say is necessary given the prices they are paying to cultivators. But as the numbers show, that supply shortage shouldn't last too long, as there are more than 1,100 licensed growers who are no more than a month or two away from a possible harvest. The state also boasts more than 700 licensed dispensaries. Another good story to read in full today. Colorado-based company Dixie Brands is debuting today on the Canadian Securities Exchange as a publicly traded stock. Dixie moved into the CSE through a reverse merger with Academy Explorations Limited and will trade under the symbol DIXI.U. You can find all the stocky details and numbers for this one over at New Cannabis Ventures. And finally for today, we return to Michigan to end our show as Marijuana Moment's Kyle Yeager notches another 2 for day with a story about 2 newly proposed pieces of legislation in the Michigan State Legislature. One in the State House that would set up a system allowing for the release from jail of people for marijuana-related crimes, and another introduced to the State Senate allowing people with marijuana charges on their record to have them set aside. Kyle has links to the full text of the proposed bills, so maybe another good one to add to the list of ones to read today. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Sherlock Packaging, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in and starting your day with marijuana today. Today.
One take, Shay. One take.